Hello everybody. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. Now I've not specifically talked about these sorts of things. I've not specifically talked about this topic um, because I find it to be very pointless. I find it to be very pointless in my opinion. I really do. I find it very pointless. But I feel like I do have to have this conversation just to help people out, just to inform them on what they're saying and inform people on how it's bad to be talking about these things and forcing things on other people. Okay. Now, I don't really care what belief people have. I really don't. I really don't care what people's beliefs are. Okay. I try to stay away from it. I really just don't care. Um, because it's pointless. I don't care about someone else's opinion. I don't care about whatever people believe in. But when I do have a problem with it is when it's forced on other people. Okay, that's when I have a huge problem. Now, as you can tell by the title, you probably know what this is going to be about. And I feel like I just had to make this video because ever since I've been doing this YouTube thing, ever since my first video, I've always gotten comments like this and people talking about I'm possessed by a demon. I need to pray to Jesus. I need to pray to God. I need to pray to that person's specific God that they believe in. I don't really get bothered by comments that much. I try to just stay away from it. Like, I read the comments. By the way, guys, I read all the comments usually. I do respond to some, depending on what it is. Lately, I've not been really feeling that well, so I don't really talk or respond to that many people nowadays just because I haven't been feeling that well. I don't really feel like myself. I don't know. It's kind of strange. But, like I was saying, I don't care about people's beliefs. I don't care what you believe in. The problem is when you're pushing on other people. I've talked to like a lot of people who have mental problems and they go to doctors or they go to psychiatrists or something like that. Usually it's not in America, it's in another country or something like that. And their doctor or psychiatrist tells them that they need to go to church or that they need to go to get what are those things called? Possession. What is that stuff called? I don't know what it's called. Where people try to get, what is that called? That they're possessed and they need to get the demon out of them, right? Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Alright. I apologize. I had to get my vape. Because this is going to be a doozy of a video, I tell you. And, basically I just want to inform people. Right? I don't care if it makes people upset. I don't care if it bothers people. I really don't. Because I feel like this is just so... I feel like this is just so stupid that I need to talk about because I'm sick of seeing these comments, I'm really sick of it. And number one, I have schizophrenia. I have a bunch of other problems that I deal with. I have a panic disorder. I have generalized anxiety disorder. I have, what else? Depression. I have mood disorders. Now I'm being said I have schizoaffective disorder. And when I see comments saying I need to pray to God, I need to do all this, I need to do all that, I need to get the demons out of me, it's a laugh to me. It's a laugh. I laugh. I'm like, is people really serious? Like, are people really this serious about it? Like, I can't tell if I'm being trolled or people are actually serious. Because I find it so weird. Because it's like there. My brain. I have a problem with my brain. My brain isn't functioning the way it should. It's not functioning the way a normal human being's brain functions. It's not. It's kind of been established that it's a mental illness. It is a mental disorder. I don't know where a god or demons fit into the category of someone having a mental disability or a mental illness. It kind of it confuses me. Like I mean, all right. Look, I'm the type of person, I grew up, and my parents are, I wouldn't say they're religious, but they believe in God, and I grew up not really um, like believing in God. I didn't really grow up. I wasn't around it. When someone's not around, like having a God or going to church and stuff like that in America, like I know it's different in other countries, but in America, you're grown up to be Christian, or you're grown up to be like just whatever. Mostly it's Christian in America. And I didn't really grow up Christian. I never got really these ideas pushed on me. My parents wanted me to go to church every once in a while. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go. Why not? And I was bored out of my mind. I never was like the type of person to believe in that kind of stuff. Back then when I was a kid, I was like, I didn't really believe in it. Um, and I mean, it's totally fine if you believe in this sorts of stuff. It's totally fine. But don't push it on other people. That's like one of the worst things you could do, possibly. You don't push these ideas on other people. You just don't. Like, it's just, like, I don't push any of my ideas on other people. I push ideas, I give people, like, information. I give people, like, I educate people on mental health. I give them, I guess I push my ideas on how to deal with, like, mental illness better. Um, but something that is not proven to be true and you're pushing on other people, that's really bad. And it makes people, especially when you're doing this to mentally ill people, like, I don't know, I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And believe me, I don't care if, like, you believe in it or not. I really just don't care. Just don't push it on other people. That's like one of the most scummy things you can possibly do to someone, is when you're pushing ideas on people that aren't known to be true. So I just like, I mean, I'm just like flabbergasted. I'm just confused. I'm just like, huh? So you think I'm possessed by demons? You think I'm possessed by demons? And I know I'm talking like this is the internet, right? This is the internet. Like, you're bound to have stuff like this happen. So I mean, I'm not taking this video too seriously. But for myself, to help myself with my mental illness, what I try to do is stay as logical and as reasonable as possible. That helps me deal with my illness more, is when I'm logical and rational. Um, I try to be as rational and logical as possible. The reason being is because I do care about truth. I care about facts. I care about what's real and what's not real. Okay? Now, that helps me so much with my illness that you have no idea. Like, it helps me so much is because every time something happens with my illness, hallucination or something, it's very hard to determine what's real and what's not real. So I go into my brain and I say, what is this real or is this not real? Logically and rationally speaking, what is the possibility of this happening? Or what else could this be? I have a mental illness. I'm schizophrenic, schizoaffective, whatever. I see things, I hear things that aren't real, that aren't, that just aren't real. So I think, what? It's not real. I know it's not real because I have a mental illness. I try to keep that. I try to keep that as on I try to keep that, and I've been doing this for years now, and it helps me so much with my illness. Knowing what's real and what's not real, being able to determine what's real and what's not real, helps me so much more. It helps me so much. You have no idea, and when I have people telling me that it's demons. Um, it's demons. I need to pray more. I need to go to church, and I need to find God. I mean, it just makes me laugh. What is that? And people telling me to get off my medication and go to church. That right there is a person who is basically just an asshole. That person is just an asshole. Do you know what happens to a schizophrenic person if they're off medication? And you think a God is going to help that? All right, let's say, okay, if there was a if a God would really help me in this situation, that God wouldn't make me schizophrenic in the first place. Okay? That God wouldn't make me schizophrenic in the first place. So me saying, because this is an illness that is really bad, okay? This is something really bad. It is comparable to cancer. It's comparable to dementia and stuff like that. And that God gave me this, let me live with this. So why would I get off my medication and pray to a God? In all honesty, like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like this. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand why people are thinking this way. You know, telling someone with schizophrenia, telling someone with bipolar, telling someone with depression or something like this, anything, to get off their medication to pray to a God is absolutely horrible, and it is scummy, and it makes you an awful person. That is all I'm going to say about that. It makes you an awful person. You know, because you don't even understand. You aren't even living the life of a schizophrenic. Like, I mean, it is upsetting. It upsets me. Because it's like people just don't understand. They don't even, like, it hurts my brain even thinking about it. Me being on medication helps me so much. It helps me so much. Being able to find it took me a while to find the right medication I was supposed to be on. Or I was trying to find to get on. And I feel so good most of the time on this medication. And someone telling me to get off my medication to pray to a God. Like, I can't even tell if they're serious or if they're, like, that is so damaging. That's so damaging to someone. Like, I feel bad for, like, kids my age or kids younger than me, like 16, like 14 to 16, who are having mental problems and their parents won't help them because that child needs to pray to God. That child needs to go to that child is possessed by demons and needs to pray to God to help them. Instead of going to a doctor and getting medication or going through a process of understanding what you're going through and understanding what needs to be done, instead of just sitting there wasting time praying to a fucking God. You know, that is so damaging to our species. And I don't even care if I piss people off in this video. I really don't care. It needs to be addressed. I'm sick of seeing it, and I'm so, like, it's so annoying. Like, I wasn't even annoyed while making this video, or in the beginning of this video. Now I'm starting to get annoyed that people can actually do this. It's sad. It's pathetic. Alright, so to any of you people who out there who have a mental illness, praying to God, like, you can do whatever you want, okay? Go to the professionals first, okay? Get what you need done, okay? Trying to find medication. trying to understand what you're going through in your brain, trying to understand all of these things that are around you that's been going on. Try to get medication and make yourself get better. And don't just sit there. Like, I can't even believe it. Because there are parents who do this, right? There are parents who do this. And I feel so bad for those kids. I've talked to them. I've talked to them. And I just don't understand how parents could do that to a child who has mental problems, okay? That is so damaging. That is so damaging to your brain, okay? I can't imagine where I would be right now if my parents were super religious and forced me to pray to God to get the demons out of me, you know? That could ruin a life. It's the same thing when people have cancer and people say just pray to God, you know, pray to God and stuff like that. Don't get any treatment, just pray to God. God will get rid of it for you. You know, that's so damaging. I mean, that's been happening for so long that it's just so sad. And I'm sorry about this video if it upsets people. I just feel like I need to talk about this. I mean, I've talked about it in my live streams before. It's just so damaging, you know. It's one of the most damaging things you could possibly do to someone. It really is. Just avoiding pretty much everything. Avoiding pretty much everything. Just pray to God, you know. He'll help you. That's just the most damaging thing you could possibly ever do. With someone who has mental problems, physical illnesses, you know. That's just one of the worst things you can do. I mean, it happens the most with mental illness. Like, I have a friend who, well, I don't want to talk about it, but, like, it just happens all over the world, especially in other countries. Like, in other countries, it's way worse than it is in America. So, yeah, that's about it for this video. Don't push your ideas on other people, okay? That's the number one rule. Don't push your opinions on other people, especially damaging ones, all right? Like, if you believe in God, I know a lot of people who believe in God, they don't push their ideas on other people because they know it's rude. And they know it's rude. It's one of the most rudest things you can do. I know a lot of them don't push it on other people because, you know, it helps them. It helps them. Don't push that stuff on other people, you know. It's very rude. All right, it's like having, you know how it is in America, Mormons. Is it Mormons? I don't know who it is, but they knock on other people's doors saying, hey, you need to believe in this and stuff like that. You know, it's silly. It's just very silly. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Do not push ridiculous ideas on other people. Okay? It's damaging. It's damaging. Just don't do it. Okay? I'm going to stay on my medication. I'm going to stay as logically and reasonable as possible. What people need to do with mental health is to get yourself better. Physically, mentally, everything. Go to a doctor. Go to whatever. Talk to them about what's going on. Figure out how you can fix it. How you can deal with these things better. It has a lot to do with therapy. Has a lot to do with medication. You know, it helps a lot. Actually do things. Don't just sit there and do this, you know, it's not going to help. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you all. All my links for the social media will be down in the description below, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.